Yeah, I've loved writing for the longest time. My mom read Harry Potter to me every night before bed when I was a kid, and so that kind of fueled my passion for reading. And then just the creativity of that universe just made it so that I started thinking, well, what if I did something like that? And then I also was shown Lord of the Rings as a 7-year-old, as a kid, and for a little while I thought that it was real. I thought it was like a Ken Burns style documentary. Um, and so
Hmm.
because of that, it also got my head turning. It's like, well, if that's something that happened like a long time ago, then creating a story of my own should be super easy. And so I started doing little stories or little you know, little writings of my own. And then, eventually I found out that Lord of the Rings was not real, and that was devastating. But then I moved on to Greek myths and Percy Jackson, and that really set the groundwork for what eventually became Pathlighter. So it's a Greek mythology, Clash of the Titans, the Odyssey inspired epic fantasy for a world and a pantheon and characters that I came up with. And it developed quite a bit over time, over the course of about 10 years or more. Started it when I was in middle school and had the idea for these characters, and then it got set by the wayside when I went into high school and college, and went out into the world and found a job. And then the pandemic kind of opened up this opportunity for me to revisit it and to um, see what worked, see what didn't, and kind of reworked it and made it a little bit tighter of a story, and shored up the characters where I thought they, could use a little bit of characterization. And it really all came together quite beautifully. I was very, very happy with the final product.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we're probably similar ages. And so
Mhm.
that whole like group of kids who grew up with Harry Potter and we were maybe like, 8 to 12 when it came out. It's really
Mhm.
interesting to see now all of us are hitting our, you know, anywhere between late 20s to mid 30s and we're like creating, and Harry Potter seems to be a big like catalyst for some of that.
Yeah, I think it just showed the level of like boundless creativity, because like the books and the movies both hit at a like a pivotal time for a lot of people our age,
Mhm.
and it just kind of showed the bounds of like what one person's imagination could come up with. And it turned out like there are no bounds to it.
Mhm.
You can decide the limits of your own world, the limits of your own characters and your magic system and everything. And it's a beautiful thing to realize that your creativity sets its own limits, and you can blow past those limits at any time.
Mhm. For sure. Yeah, and I think I love what you said about thinking Lord of the Rings was real because I don't know if I
Mhm.
ever thought it was real, but man, I wished it was. Like I was
I know.
yeah, I loved my dad took me to see The Fellowship when the movie came out. I
Hmm.
guess I must have been 12, I think, when it came out. And he took me and my older brother, and I instantly went out and got the other two books and read them, in like a
Hmm.
week and a half. I got through both of them. Um, but same kind of thing as Harry Potter, like it just kind of totally captured my imagination, like,
Hmm.
you know, crazy.
And I think that Fellowship is a really good way to get you into that world, because it's like the most D&D of all the Lord of the Rings books and
Hmm.
movies. It's about, a bunch of people from different backgrounds coming together, going on a quest, encountering new threats, exploring the world, and um, bonding together and realizing that there's a lot more that connects them than separates them. I think that's a reason why a lot of people latch onto it right from the get-go. And Tolkien was, a genius in so many ways, but he was a genius for starting the story with that portion of it, with the fellowship coming together, and making it about friendship right from the get-go.
Yeah, I think Gandalf might be the best and worst dungeon master ever. Somehow awesome and terrible at the same time.
I was talking with Daniel Kulba about this, where he was like, they don't set any limits for Gandalf, and they don't like sometimes he can do these amazing things and sometimes he can't. And I think what we came up with as an excuse was he just ran out of spell slots at some
Hmm.
point. So he, the Witch King comes down and he's gonna fight him, but he's out of spell slots, and the DM doesn't want it like a TPK or anything like that. So then the the Witch
Yeah.
King flies off and gets killed by an NPC off screen or something.